Yes, I have feeling that it compares. I have feeling that these three books is somehow one series because, and it's not coincidence that there are some live creatures in the titles of the book. First is the bird, then is elephant, and at the end is lizard, and the narrator is telling from from his and he's my age always, so he's getting older and older. I don't think that's wiser, but yes, some views are changing. Yes, I had feeling that in this last book I said something which I could not say in the previous ones. I was really happy with the last book. I had feeling that it's a good work, and I can tell how the story came to me because there are several storylines, and always difficult to say in couple sentences what it's about. But suddenly, in one day, I realized, maybe too late, how much I'm my mother's product. So I was grown up in family with many men. These men were teaching me to shoot the shotgun, to throw knives, some many to cut the woods. But then I understood that my mother was main person in my life who created me, who am I today. And I decided to make a book like dialogue of mother and son, and it's one line of the book, this dialogue. Another is monologue, because loudly sometimes we don't say things, and it's narrator is the man who is somehow captured among the women, his mother, daughter, and woman mother of his daughter, who refused to marry him. And it's also quite unusual situation in Georgia, because they love each other, but somehow this woman is afraid to lose true love with marriage, afraid to lose independence also, and he has to live in this situation in the country, in society, which is quite macho society, yes, and also he has to follow some rules. And there is another line, tragic story of his friends, artist, painter, based in Berlin, but who is coming from the most remote part of Caucasus Mountains, the most traditional, and it's about tragic fortune of the man who already does not belong to one culture and could not become part of new one. He's hanged somewhere, and it's for me it was something like a model also of Georgian society nowadays, because some values are lost, or people are following them with inertia, and new values has not come to society. So Georgia is an politicians or sociologists, they called it transition country, or society in transition, but this transition causes many casualties, and many people are just broken during this transition. And it's about rituals, it's about paganism in our mountains, it's about Christianity, it's about many things, but so in 2 words, I think it's difficult to explain what the book is about, but it's about our society as well. Yes, I have this connection. I'm naturalist myself. I can say I'm wildlife photographer. I'm wildlife guide also. And somehow in the first book I used this knowledge and experience. Suddenly, there is one Georgian film director, and she offered me to make documentary about me, how I'm guiding foreign bird watchers, because for Georgia it's something unusual. And then suddenly I understood, because if it's for cinema, it's interesting. Why I should not write about it? Yes, and it was So in the first book, which is called The Bird and Man, my inspiration was one particular place in semi-deserts, which I was observing during many years, and I observed, so there were many stories of foreign bird watchers who are coming here for 10 days, and the locals, shepherds, they are nomading, circulation of the times of the year, and quite tough place to live, to survive, because there is one view of touristic view, and another view is from inside. In the second book, which has nothing to do with nature, because it's about city, and the main character is Tbilisi there, and I always wanted to write urbanistic novel, because city is place for novel. It should be, because there are many lines, and I live all my life. Besides, I'm in nature, and I'm quite often, but I never lived anywhere else in other cities. So I know Tbilisi quite well. I cannot say that it's easy life there. I cannot say that I love even Tbilisi. And this book, which is very popular, by the way, in Georgia, I wanted to be more gloomy and dark. But during writing it, I understood that I have many sentiments. The book somehow helped me. Then you speak out something, you feel better, like a therapy. And also I have some experience to be in cinema, because I'm writing screens, I play in the film, so I used this, my experience. So I made the book about Tbilisi, which is called Southern Elephant, very cinematographic, because it's from the point of view of film director who is not making his films anymore because he punished himself. Why he is punished, you can read in the book, but it's nothing has to do with nature. There is some nature in the last book, but then something very deep. Your eyes is tired, So in the last book, in this lizard on the gravestone, they go to mountains. They go to mountains to become part of rituals. It's about vendetta. It's about, but I thought, I'm very common with these things. I need eyes of one who is seeing it first time. So I hid some of my knowledges, and it's a Tbilisi man who is going and witnessing some strange things. And I even, can you tell the inspiration of there is Norwegian writer Erlend Loe, and once we were, he's a very popular writer. Once we were traveling via Georgia, and it was end of May in particular community. It's a big holiday, quite pagan holiday, but dedicated to Christian church, and they are cutting a lot of sheep. Every year there is a huge conversation about this holiday, and our car, it was muddy, gloomy, foggy day, and the car was stuck because there was traffic, and on the both sides there was a lot of dead animals and a lot of blood. And very seriously he asked in the evening when we drink, Arczil, do you have feeling that you belong to these people? And my first answer was yes, because yes. And then I start to think that these rituals, they look more wild from outside. So I need narrator to be outsider, and I made this in this last book. With Lizard, I already wanted to show that it's continuation of this series somehow, but that's a lot about Lizard, because I can't tell even how it came into my mind. Shall I? I made the father of, who is already passed away, of the narrator, specialist of lizards. But really, it's, once it happened that my zoologist friend showed me some lizard in a glass box in the institute, and they told me, "Do you recognize them?" And I looked and I said, "No, never. I had seen." So they discovered this lizard on the Black Sea coast. There is a Turkish castle where from slaves were taken by Ottomans. And this lizard is Lebanon lizard. The boats were made from Lebanon cedar. And so centuries ago, these lizards came with these slavery boats, and the population is still there. And so many empires, and this just has blown my mind. And so this story you will find in the book also, story of Lebanon's desert and how it became tragic for this family. So there is some truth only, and then as a basement, and then I'm building, like most of writers, I think.